With the skyline of Manhattan as our backdrop, we are across the East River in the fabled borough of Brooklyn, New York. It is Week 16 in the NFL, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Jets of Brooklyn. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Jackson, first play, going to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. And Charles, you look at this defense, they were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half. And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right. On second down, here's Mitchell. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing is Jackson. And that is incomplete.
That was the first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 18. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10. Right at the 30. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. You look at this Baltimore defense. And right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And they're waving pressure too much. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. So the punt goes for 56 with a decent return of 13. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up, pow, knocked him for a loss.
Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. On 3rd down, Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Here's Jordan Stout now. This will be fielded at the 17. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Jets will take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. And able to find Allen Lazard. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. The Jets at 3 and 11 now on the year. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd down and 6. Wilson now off the bootleg. This pass out wide to Hall. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Let's go.
Play action. It's Wilson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Adafe Owe. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. So they'll pass on what would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt, and they're going for it on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Hall. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. The Jets try it, but the fourth down play doesn't work. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This 2nd and 4. Jackson now. Under pressure, and down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. This is taken at the 15. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right? Where these teams are locked in and going at it. No points going up on the scoreboard. I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
Less than a minute to go here in a scoreless first quarter to this point. Hall again on 2nd down. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say he'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
They go play action now. Wilson. That is incomplete. Garrett Wilson, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Now you look at this defense. They're a unit that enters play way down, number 28 in the NFL right now against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out. Being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. No score after 1 on EA Sports. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. C.J. Mosley, the former Raven, in there on the tackle.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
Now 2nd and 9. Now Jackson back into his end zone. Steps away to his left. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he will have a Ravens first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
When you're dead last in the NFL in 3rd down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about him picking up that one? That was big for them.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. John Franklin Myers forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. We've seen a couple of Super Bowls start 2-0. The first score of this game could have very easily been a safety. That was close there.
It was close, and while it didn't happen in this game, it's funny you bring up the Super Bowls, because that would have been, what, Super Bowl 46? Giants.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Off to the races. Moving inside the 20. And all the way in for the Ravens touchdown. Zay Flowers, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Well, the game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the 2nd quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, a run with Hall.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now it's Wilson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, We see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
2nd and 6. The slot man in motion right. Ball again on 2nd down. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Wilson. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Sliding out of the pocket. There's a short one caught by Uzama. A lot of work to get away and outside of the pocket, but no actual yardage there on the catch. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Back to the ground with Hall. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
His way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Let's go now. 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what it...
Touchdown, Jets! Breece Hall from 21 yards away. And the Jets are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jackson on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Now Jackson. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think he might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
2nd and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. A short throw caught by Andrews. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
At their own 20-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they've got just under 50 seconds, so time enough to try to work their way downfield if they so choose. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
First and 10 at the 32-yard
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it's 2nd down. Here's Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Wilson will throw again. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Hall on a give up the middle. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. Now it's Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Wilson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Wilson. That is caught. It's Uzoma. Look at the big man rumble. Touchdown. C.J. Uzoma. 64 yards. And the Jets have taken the lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, Charles, you and I said at intermission, feels like we're set up for a good second half. Well, the other side scored, and now it's up to them to answer. How do they respond here with their first drive of the second half?
Well, bottom line is they just saw the ball go in the end zone against their defense, and they saw what good offense looks like. They believe they've got a good offense as well. Run the best plays you've got to the top performers you have, and try to move that ball down the field for an answering score.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
In motion right is Wilson. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle, down at the 25.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 25, here's 2nd down and 7. They'll give to Hall. Bulldozes past him. And he'll get it down this time to 17. 45 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Throwing is Wilson. This is caught. And the Jets are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Now Wilson. And a flag comes in as Edward falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Okay, so the penalty on the outside for illegal touching, and they'll have to come back and try it again. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. To throw is Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. It's kind of an interesting decision. 1-score game, 3rd quarter. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm willing to go out on the limb on this one and go for it. And here's why. If I set it up right now and go get the touchdown, I'm in firm control of this ball game, and my team has a ton of confidence. If I don't get it, hey, I rely on my defense. And if somehow they go downfield on me and score, so be it. I want to be in control and in firm control right now.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. They throw for it on 4th and goal at the 1, and the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. That leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Jackson now down around his goal line. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so. But maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. He finds his man complete. It's Wilson. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. A gain there of 21 yards.
Now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode. Really.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. In motion right, that's Hardman. Straight ahead is Hall. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Third and 19. Here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise him with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a first down. Gotta love that efficiency.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now just east of Manhattan in Brooklyn. It's Jet football as they've got the lead here, and we get set to begin quarter number 4. Second and 7. Now Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Wilson. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
But there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
The offense on 3rd down, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. 56 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the 4th quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Zach Wilson, his third touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Jets look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. A 15-point game now. You make the extra point, and that means on the other side you need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. That's a pretty tall order here in the fourth quarter.
Agreed, because they really needed to come up with a stop there, and even if it was just to hold them to a field goal. Now they need to pull out the lucky horseshoe because they've got to get an onside kick, and we've seen nowadays those are incredibly difficult to come by.
And not to mention they got to get the touchdown and a 2-point conversion first. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now their hill to climb has gotten taller. They had the safety last time they had the football. That led to the touchdown a moment ago. So that deficit going in the wrong direction as they try to right the ship here, 1st and 10. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now.
Now, a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Here's a give to Hall. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Hall again on 2nd down. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. They need 12 here. It's 3rd down. Looking to throw. Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
On for the field goal. A 44-yard attempt.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. It's caught, Mitchell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now it's Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 25 yards that time.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
To throw again is Jackson. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Ravens have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now, you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs to keep up with your theme there playing keep away. first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a second down and 9. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Ready!
On second down, Wilson. This pass out wide to Hall. And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Only able to gain a couple there, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Completes it to Hardman. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Jackson to throw.
Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
Here's second down. Here's Jackson. That is caught. Bateman. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the...
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Jermaine Johnson credited with that sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's fourth down. Here we go. It's Jackson on fourth down. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, boy, the ball is going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. And they will take a knee here. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.